Hello YouTube, and a very special hello to all my subscribers. My name's Phil, and today I just want to give you a bit of an update on my main Project 24 website and also two other sites that I've set up in the last 3 months. So stick around for all the numbers and to see how I'm doing. So if you haven't seen this channel before, it's all about documenting my progress as a real Project 24 member, and I just try and share sort of all my successes, failures, and what's happening and what it's like to try and build a business online and internet marketing business, and mainly through websites and YouTube. If that's something that you're interested in learning a little bit more about, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also give me a like, because that really helps me, and yeah, so I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's get into the numbers and talk about that now. So we'll jump into the computer and we can see those figures. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I'm following the Project 24 method, which was set up by Jim Harmer and Ricky Kessler over at incomeschool.com. So I really recommend you check that out. If you're not a member yet and you'd like to sign up today, then please, if you'd like to use my affiliate link, which is in the description, really helps me out, and yeah, of course, I really appreciate this support. It really helps drive me and produce stuff on this channel. Okay, so let's get into just some sort of facts and figures. So I have currently got 3 Project 24 style websites up. So the main one I started back in May, so the 22nd of May 2019. And it's got 70 articles on it, which is a lot less than I was hoping for. I have to admit that in the last 2 months, I wouldn't call it a burnout, but I've certainly lost momentum. And a couple of weeks ago, I lost all of my my data, my Excel file with my hit list. Got corrupted. I was using my wife's computer, and that kind of knocked me for 6, and I'm just recovering. In fact, losing the hit list was really helpful, because I went back through the search analysis process, and I think it really helps to go back and review that and really consider what articles you've written and are working, and what articles you should write, because you know what works. So kind of doubling down is the terminology. So I've got 70 articles on that, but I will be hitting that pretty hard for the rest of 2020. I currently only monetize with Amazon. I've not to date found any other affiliate programs that I've been sort of put on the website, and I haven't got any info products, and I don't use ads. At the moment, I could only really use the Google ads, and to be honest, I'm not sure if it's worth it at my stage. I think they don't look great, and they don't really bring in any money. I have another non-Project 24 website, and I've had Google ads on that for about 3 months, and I've earned 50 cents. For me, it's not worth it. I'm going to hold out until I can get onto a slightly better ads network, or with an ads broker, and do it then. So that's site 1. And site 2, which was launched around the 8th of November, that's when the first article went up, and that's on the wedding niche. And I explained, if you've seen any of my other videos, that I got married officially last year in June, and we're getting married again, or we're having a family wedding this April. So it kind of made sense. We were talking about weddings. Actually, today is the 1-year anniversary of my proposal to my wife, which I did in Iceland under the Northern Lights. Very cheesy, but kind of romantic, I suppose. So that's why I've got a wedding niche website. So that's got 24 articles on it. It's also monetized with Amazon, a couple links here and there, and again, no ads. And then site 3, which is in a different niche, I started it on the 31st of October, so a little bit before the wedding niche website. That's only got 21 articles, and also monetized with Amazon and no ads. So the site 2 and site 3 are the 2 sites that I'm outsourcing. So I spoke about how I've hired some writers. I hired them from Facebook. If you're interested in watching that video, I will put a link into the description and maybe one of those cards. You can check that out. To be honest, Site 2 and Site 3 are growing a lot more slowly than I was anticipating. For example, my first 30 articles for the 60 steps from Project 24 on the main site, those first 30 articles, I got them up in just under 2 months. But for Site 2 and Site 3 here, it's taking a lot longer just because I'm outsourcing it. I'm having to do a lot of editing and also just training up the writers. But I've got a couple good writers now and they're really knocking it out. So I've got at least 6 or 7 articles just waiting to go up on these 2 websites combined that I need to edit and just double check they haven't plagiarized anything. So yeah, it's not so bad. It's not as quick as I wanted, but it's slowly growing. So let's have a look at a couple of numbers. So if we go and have a look at, no, you're here for the money. You want to know how much I've earned. So let's check Amazon. So as you can see here, this is for the last 30 days, and it's actually for all of the different sites. But the wedding niche website and the other Site 3, they haven't actually made any money. So this is actually all from Site 1. So I've made some sales, not a lot. It's not enough for a second pizza day, but it's so $3.92, and that's 6 different orders, which accounts of so 56 clicks, 6 orders, which is giving me a conversion rate of 10.17%. And so I've made Amazon $64.47, and I've got what, about 4%, so $3.92 there. Okay, it's not going to break the bank, it's not going to change my life, but it's kind of proving the theory. It is working. So I just want to make it very clear that for all the sites, especially Site 1, I have not been promoting this at all. There's been no promotion of the site other than just putting content onto Google. I do have a Quora account which I go and answer questions, which it doesn't really bring in any traffic, but so I'm not promoting this. It's purely just putting content on websites and then including links, so text links for Google, for Amazon products. And of those 6 items that I've sold in the last 30 days, 2 of them, so 33.33333%, they're connected to the niche. So I feel that's kind of on point. I think it's working fairly well. Obviously, if I have more traffic, hopefully this is going to go up. So if we look at the actual numbers for Site 1, so as you can see, we're looking at the month of January here, and we started off the month with page views, all page views 126, 86 of those which were organic, and that's gone up to 332 at the end of the month, of which 252 were organic. So that gives me all users, direct, social, all that kind of stuff, 1,159, but actually organic traffic 896. I only really worry too much about organic traffic for some reason. So I'm waiting to hit that 1,000 organic traffic users, 1,000 page views a month. That is my target. I think that's going to probably happen next month if things carry on. So there you go. So if we talk about things like the unique page views, there's not too much of a difference. So organic wise, 896 page views in total, 828 of those unique page views. So I suppose that means people that are coming for the first time, not necessarily going on to another page. And we've got organic traffic. The time on page is 5 minutes and 42 on average, which is pretty good, I think. that must mean that what I'm writing is engaging, I suppose. And you can see the bounce rate here, 85.93% organic traffic, and the exit rate of 80.92%. Now, if you watched my last video when I was explaining my traffic, I went through a period of losing 50% of my traffic over about a 2-month period, and I was pulling my hair out. I didn't know what was happening. If we just have a look, this makes me smile a little bit. So if we look from November the 1st to the end of January, you can see how we had a little bit of growth coming through to the middle of November, and then it seemed to just drop. So we went from 192 organic page views there to, it went down to about 84, 86. So I was really worried. But as you can see now, at the end of January, it's gone up to 252. So that must have been a period of seasonality, or perhaps it was, or I don't know, something to do with an algorithm update. But I'm just happy it's going back up. Let's hope it carries on that way. So yeah, just you can see just a bit of how it's changed since November. So if I go back and just have a look at last month, so January. So if I just look at my notes, the biggest issue I've got at the moment is that there seems to be one particular post that's just taken off. In the last sort of 30 days, it's got 120 views, whereas the next highest one is maybe 20 page views. So like 100 more page views. That's crazy. So that's bringing in about 30% of the traffic. Now I don't know what's happened there, and it's a little bit worrying. It is one of my earlier posts, so perhaps it's just finally ranking a little bit better. So I'm hoping that some of the content that I wrote back in September is going to slowly catch up with it, because if that continues, having one post almost propping up the site at 34% organic traffic, that's not something I really want. So that's the major concern I've got. But apart from that, I think the site's doing quite well. So I started it back in May, and we're now looking at the beginning of February. So yeah, we're right along the period where it should be starting to take off. Okay, so that is the main site. I think that's everything I've got to talk about here. So let's talk about site 2 now. So this is site 2. If you remember, I've got about 24 posts on this. They've been going up fairly slowly. Overall, I think the wedding niche is very competitive, and I'm going to have to reevaluate this. Perhaps I might need to niche down, but I'm going to give it a bit of time for the first batch of articles to start ranking. So you can see not a lot's happening here. To be honest, most of this is sort of direct traffic, so that's Google sort of testing the site. But of the 200 users I've had since October the 31st, so 28 of those page views were organic. Yeah. But they seem to be getting, on average, quite a long sort of average time on page, 6 minutes 51. To be honest, this could be a lot of just my writers checking their what I've done to change. Like they give me the articles and I edit them and put them on the website. So not a lot is happening here. Although I do have, of the 24 articles, I've got 3 articles that are actually bringing in traffic, so organic page views. So something is happening, but it's happening slowly. But I do feel this one is very competitive, and I may have to put a bit more effort into trying to build a bit of a niche within the niche here. But if we compare this to site 3, I'm much more confident about site 3 just in the early days. So the period we're talking about, so this, I put up the So site 3 I began in on the 31st of October. So it's got 21 posts. Of those posts, 6 articles are actually bringing in traffic, which is cool. So I've had 372 users in that period, 164 of which have been organic page views. I'm getting a 3 minute and 29 average time on page. So I feel this is more likely to be real people, not just like my writers checking all their mistakes and things like that. So this one is, I feel initially it's doing quite well. I looked through it earlier today, and at least one of the posts is already got the snippet. So perhaps I've stumbled onto something. So yeah, I think site 3 is going to be a little bit better than site 2. Just I don't know. That's just my intuition at this point. Okay, so yeah, those are the sites. I just wanted to talk about Amazon. So as you can see, I've got this big important notice at the top here because I haven't put in any of my payment details in. So the issue I have is I live in Taiwan, and I'm trying to figure out how I should get Amazon to pay me. So they can pay you either in kind of credit, or they can pay you by check, or they can do a direct sort of deposit into your bank account. So I've got a Payoneer account which I'm sure I can use, but I'm just wondering, what do you guys do? How do you get paid by Amazon? Do you prefer a check? Do you prefer a direct deposit? And especially if you're not living in the States, how do you like to get paid? If you have any tips for me, please leave me a comment. Just let me know how you're getting paid. It would really help me out. I'm just interested in what people do and the best way for me to do it, seeing that I live outside the States. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give me a like if you found this interesting, and I will see you next time. Thanks very much, and see you again.